Hi guys, and welcome back to the Canadian Glam channel. Glam here, and today's tutorial, as you can tell from the title, is a Disney inspired look, and this look is inspired by Madame Medusa. If you don't know who Madame Medusa is, she is from the original Rescuers movie, and yeah, so that's the look that we're going to do today. I want to start by apologizing if I start coughing, if I have to take a sip of my tea. I am really sick, you guys. I have a son that is sick. He brought it home from school, and of course now mommy is sick. But I was so upset at the fact that I thought that I might disappoint you guys with not having this video up because I have been promising it. So I thought I would try my best and film it anyways. So I know I'm not my usual glam self. I look like death warmed over, but we're gonna try and get through this video anyways. So I've already went ahead and put my foundation concealer on. I went ahead and primed my eyes using the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade 604 Milk, and went ahead and put my tape on. Now, in the film, Medusa's eyeshadow, Madame Medusa's eyeshadow, is a blue-gray tone, and it's very rounded out. It almost makes her look like she's got two black eyes. So I didn't want to do that look. She doesn't wear eyeliner or anything, if you guys are familiar with her, but I wanted to stay true to the tones of colors that she uses and really turn this into a wearable look. Now, those of you that have seen my previous Disney look, you know that I don't stay exactly true to the character. My version of doing these Disney tutorials is not to make you look exactly like the character, but take an inspired look from the characters and make it something that you can wear every day. So rather than give you two black eyes, I'm going to show you a different way to create angles and shape using those same kind of color tone range, and to create a look that you can wear out. I'm going to start by setting this eyelid pencil using my go-to at the moment for my setting, and it's the Carli Bybel palette, and I'm going to be using the cream color up top. So just taking one of my biggest fluffy blending brushes, I'm going to pick up some of that product and tap it off, and just go ahead and set this whole area where I put my NYX pencil. And this is just going to give me a good base so that I can blend the rest of the shadows that I place on top of this out evenly. Because they are going to be such dark blues and gray tones, you really want to make sure you start with a lighter hand and work your way up to the darker shadows. If you were to start this look by placing one of the darker shadows on your eye first, you're going to notice it's going to look very separated, it's not going to blend smoothly, and it's just going to give you a very unpleasant, uneven blended tone, which is nothing that anybody wants. So, once I've set them, bear with me guys, I'm really trying hard here. I'm going to start by taking this brown shadow and just placing that in just on top of my crease using my next sized blending brush. So I'm going to pick up my mirror here so I can see a little bit closely, and I'm just going to go on top with a very light hand and just kind of blend this in, and this is going to give me some depth and tone and allow me to work these blues in without really creating a crazy botched look. Because that's the problem when you're using dark eyeshadows, that if you're using shadows and you're not blending properly, or you're going in with too dark of a color first, you're just going to have a very choppy look. So, just very easy peasy. Next, I'm going to cut a crease. Now, I'm going to be using, oh my goodness, if I can find it here. I'm going to be using a flat angled brush like so. It's a very thin brush. And I'm going to be working with the Eyes on the 70s palette for this one. And I'm going to be starting with the this matte dark navy shade right here. And I know when you start with really dark shades, when you start putting the dark shades on your eyes, some people tend to get intimidated. Just keep going with it. As long as you keep blending, you are going to get something that you enjoy. But don't be afraid the second you put it on and go, no, it's too dark, and wash it off. You're never going to know if you never try, guys. So, starting on the outer corner of where my natural crease would start, I'm just going to slowly sketch this out. So I'm just going right on that crease bone and kind of blending up. So I'm going like this and then just kind of pushing the product in so that I'm forming a line of where I want this crease to sit, like so. And notice how I'm not bringing it down to the corner of my eye. With dark blues like this or dark purples, especially if you're going to define the lower, if you were just doing a top eyelid shadow without putting any shadows on the bottom, it would look fine. But when you start to put the same dark colors on top and underneath, you start to get that bullseye, just got punched in the eye look. So we're trying to avoid that at all costs. So I'm just going to define this again, just using no more extra product. I'm just going back and forth on this line and kind of just marking out where I want this cut crease to start. And I'm just going to repeat the same step on the other eye. Again, starting on the outer corner where my natural crease starts, and just gently patting, kind of marking out where I want this to sit. And if you can see, I'm bringing it right almost to where my eyebrows are, just leaving that gap between them, but really just marking out that defined space. I'm hoping you guys can see that. Pardon me, guys, sorry. And just going back through that. And this is just going to give me an idea of where I want to start blending shadows and giving depth. You don't have to be precise with this. We are going to blend this out. So, again, using a powder brush, I'm going to take where am I here? This lighter gray blue color right here and go right on top of that line that we just set. I am knocking everything over, guys. This is just not my day. So starting on the outer corner, I'm just going to back and forth and really start to blend this. So I'm just doing small circular motions and then windshield wiper motions. And that's just going to buff that out. And just doing the same thing on the other side, picking up that blue color, and just slowly work it back and forth. Hoping you guys can see this all right. And this just gets rid of any harsh lines. Just keep going until you're happy with how blended it is. So you should kind of be left like something like this. I'm hoping you guys can see that. Next, I'm going to be taking this crazy bright blue shade right here. Now, remember to use a very light hand. You can always add more product, but you cannot take away the product. It is a lot more difficult to take away product than it is to add more. Starting on the outer corner, the same thing. And we're just going to stay right underneath that line this time. Working from the outer corner and really buffing that into the crease right on top of that line, staying away from going to your corner of your eye. Stay along that line that you just made, just directly under it, and blend back and forth. And repeat the same step on the other eye. When I first started doing makeup a long time ago, anytime I would put colors like this on my eyes, I automatically thought, Mimi Bobak, nope, not doing it. Blue is just not working for me. But just keep your patience, keep your wits about you, and just keep trying. If you're really, really uncomfortable trying to do this look before you go out the door or you got somewhere to be, practice makes perfect. Take a couple of minutes to yourself and just practice putting different shadows on your eyes, different color ranges, and see what makes you feel comfortable and makes you feel good about it. And that way you know in the future what product of colors, color ranges that you want to stay within and which ones you don't find flattering on yourself to stay away from. It's just makeup, guys. It washes off at the end of the day. So, I mean, it's not like getting a tattoo. It's not permanent. Makeup should be fun, and when you take the fun out of doing makeup, there's really nothing left that's really desirable about it to me. I enjoy playing with different colors and getting creative. So, that's my whole reason of getting into makeup, is it's fun, it's something that you can play around with, it washes off at the end of the day, no harm done, and I really enjoy the fact that you can create different looks and make people feel good about themselves, and that's what I enjoy about what I do. And I can share tips and tricks with you guys along the way. So, putting this palette aside, I'm going to pick up the Galaxy Chic palette, and I'm going to be placing this color right here, the earth tone, all over my eyelid. So just taking a small flat eyeshadow brush, I'm just going to pack this all over my eyelid. And this color you can bring to the inner corner because we are going to lighten it up. Like so, and repeat the same step on the other eye. I just noticed that when you swirl this one, you get a little bit of a lighter blue on one side and then a darker pigmented blue on the other. So if you were wondering why I went back to that other eye, I just had to fix that. So I'm just going to bring this all up into this crease and right into the corner of my eye. Like so. Until you have something that looks seamless. I promise it's going to look better than this, so bear with me. Taking that big fluffy brush again, I'm going to go back to the very first palette that I used, the Carli Bybel palette, picking up some of that cream color now that I have the base of my colors down, and I'm going to go right on underneath and right on top right here And I'm just going to blend back and forth and kind of tone down that outer edge and blend everything together. See, now it's not as crazy, it doesn't look as sharp, and we will be putting a highlighter in there, so like so. And just repeating the same step on the other eye. If you're finding something's not working or something doesn't look right, just keep playing with it and adding product or switching a color to see what you like best. Most of the times a lighter shade can be added or a different pop of color can be added to kind of brighten the look or add different dimensions to it. That's the fun thing about shadows. If you remember back in primary school, the first grades, they teach you how to add yellow to red and blue to green makes this color, and blue and, you know, all adding on, mixing your different colors. And it's the same kind of thing with your shadows. Just add and play with different color ranges and you'll get a different look. So, there. Now that I've toned this down a bit, I'm going to be using the Electrica color. That's this one down here. And I'm going to use that in my inner corner. So I'm just going to be using a flat angled blending brush. And I'm just going to pack that on top of this lid color right here on the inner corner. Bringing it about a third of the way outwards. And repeating the same step on the other eye. Now for me, that's almost not enough of a difference or enough of a pop to the inner corner. So what I'm going to do is pick up Meteor in the same palette. It's a little bit of a lighter shade and add that on top of that. And okay, that's giving me a little bit more depth of what I wanted. But for me, it's still not enough of a pop of color, so I'm going to go in and grab that Meteor color in that palette. So it's this nice, really light blue sheen to it. I'm going to grab some on my brush, and I'm going to set it with a setting spray. Just give a little bit of a spritz on that, because these shadows can work nicely with setting sprays. So I'm going to place that on top now, and adding the setting spray will just help define that shadow even more and bring out those shimmer colors and the sparkle pigment in them to kind of give you a little bit more of a defined pop. And just do the same thing. The only thing is, once you add the setting spray to it, do not rub. You're going to get a really creased look. Gently pat it until you have a base with the setting spray, and then you can blend in by rubbing it back and forth. Like so. Pardon me, sorry guys. Now, switching to, I can find it here. It disappeared on me. Well, one of my brushes kind of decided to disappear on me. So using this angled fluffy brush right here, I'm going to dip into this dark Neptune color right here. And I'm going to place this just on the outer corner. In the V shape. And just bring it in just a bit to the lash line. And this is where that tape comes in handy because it really defines that outer corner. And now I'm going to go and take that original fluffy brush that we used. That's not it. Oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. Grab that original fluffy brush that we used in the Carli Bybel product. That's not either. I set it down on the counter. And just kind of go back again on that outer corner. Like that, just to buff away that excess. And repeat the same step on the other side. So again, outer corner into the lash line, up into the crease, and just concentrate on pushing that product into this outer corner. Like so. And using that brush again, blend that out. Sorry guys, I'm looking for a brush. So I'm going to use this powder brush right here. I'm going to grab a highlighter color from the Carli Bybel palette, one of these ones, and I'm going to do my underbrow and highlight my brow bone with this. Like so. And I'm just going to go right underneath my brow. And this will help soften the very top of it so it's not going to look crazy. And repeating the same step on the other eye. Like so. And now I'm going to pull off the tape. And now you have a defined angle like that. Rather than completely rounded, it's now got your straight cut line. Now if you wanted to pair this with winged liner, then you most certainly can. I'm going to allow the product to speak for itself and leave it just like that. Taking a makeup wipe, I'm just going to clean up underneath. Now normally I would not have already had my foundation and everything on, but when I say I'm sick, guys, I'm telling you, without the foundation and concealer on, I'd probably break the camera. So I had to go ahead and do that because I couldn't stand to look at myself with how sick I was without it. My nose was literally, I looked like Rudolph. So once that's on there like that, you can go ahead and put some eyeliner on. So I'm going to be sticking with my liquid liner. soon as I find it. I'm going to be using the liquid liner from Rimmel in the shade 001 100% Black. And I'm not doing a wing today. I'm just going to tightly press this against the lash line because I'm going to be putting false lashes on. Just like so. Just a basic line to define my lash line. And repeat the same step on the other eye. Oh my goodness. This is more of a challenge. When I get sick, my eyes tend to water a lot, like most people with head colds. So it was making seeing anything quite challenging. So once I've done that, I'm going to throw a coat of mascara on and put my false lashes on. So I'm going to do that off camera, just like I normally would if you guys need to see that. Just skip back to another video of when I put my false lashes on, but I'm going to do that off camera. Alright guys, I'm back and I've put my false lashes on, so I'm hoping you guys can see these. They're very cartoon-like, like very defined, sparse, and if you have seen the movie, then you know that's one of the main features on Madame Medusa's look is that you can see her almost like individual lashes, her eyes. So the ones that I'm wearing for this look are from the Shany 10-pack Luminous Lash Pack, and this is the set number 1, number 9. So, next I'm going to go and define this lower lash line. So I'm going to start again with a small smudging brush and pick up the shade Neptune and then go over top of that with the shade Meteor. So starting with a small amount of product of the Neptune, I'm going to start on the outer corner, staying close to my lash line, right in my lashes. And really smudge this back and forth. Bringing it in just to where my lashes stop. I don't want to bring that right into the corner because I want to leave the inner corner really open. So your eyes still look really open and awake. When you start to put darker colors on the inner corners, it can bring your eyes to look a little bit more closed. So I am really going to smoke this one out. Just going back and forth in little buffing motions, like so. And repeating the same step with that same color on the other eye. Again, right in the lash line, and just stop where your lashes naturally stop growing. And until you have that. So it's really, really dark. Now, next I'm going to grab the, actually I'm going to switch up and grab the Comet color, which is right next to it, and try this color out and see how I like that one on top. Because I looked at the Meteor and I don't want to brighten this up too much because I am going to be using the NYX white pencil. So two light colors, it'll almost make the under eye not defined enough. So I'm going to grab that Comet color instead. And buff that out like so. And just repeat the same step on the other eye. And once you have that all buffed out, I'm going to go ahead and take my NYX white eye pencil, the same one that I used to set my eyelid before I started, and just apply that on my waterline. And that'll just help brighten up your eye so it's not going to look so dark. Like so. I'm going to go ahead with my mascara. So the mascara I'm using is the Wet n Wild Max Volume Mascara. And at the moment this is my favorite lower lash one because the brush is a little bit more sleek, so I can get on those lashes without touching. Like back and forth like so. Just a quick coat, nothing crazy. And next I'm going to take Meteor on my finger like this, and I'm just going to dab it just in the inner corner like so, and that's just going to help bring some color and light to the inner corner of the eye. And repeating the same step on the other eye. Like that. I'm not going to be contouring or anything. I just realized that after looking at everything, I don't really need to. But if you want to contour your face and finish up the rest of your face, that's great. I'm just going to show you the colors of blush I choose and the colors of lips I choose. So I am going to be going in with the Joe Fresh Mellon Blush. And this is one of the blushes that I picked up the other day if you watched my mini drugstore haul. So I wanted to keep, because the eyes are so bold and my lips are going to be bold, I really wanted to keep just a light flush of color on my cheeks. So I'm going to be grabbing just a blush brush, and I'm just going to apply that lightly on my cheeks. Like so. Just a light dusting. And then I'm going to be taking this Baked Blush, or Baked Crush Baked Blush shade 127 Honeymoon by Hard Candy, and I'm just going to be applying that to the highest part of my cheekbones. For this look, this is the only part of my face that I'm going to highlight. And I'm just going to do a very light dusting, like so. And last but not least, I am going to be finishing off my lips. Now I'm trying to look for a specific liner here. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to be pairing my Essence lip liner in the shade number 12, Wish Me Rose, with this Expert Last Lip Color NYC in the shade 405 Blue Rose. So I'm just going to start by lining my lips. Now the trick to lining your lips and getting that really nice Cupid's bow is I always start on the top corner of the top part of one side of my Cupid's bow and draw down on a diagonal like so. And then on the other side and do the same thing, because that's going to give you the perfect X to line that corner. It's going to give you a really sharp look. And then follow the corners down. So I'm not going to overdraw on this. And just like so. Now you can pair this look, this eye look, pretty much with any color of lipstick. I'd stay away from bright reds, like really bright reds, but like a dark nude color, a light nude color, peach, just a sheer gloss. I'm going to be actually going with a bright pink because it's close to the shade that she wears. She wears like a corally red color, but I've done coral lips quite a lot in the past, so I wanted to try out this blue rose color and see what it looks like with this lip, or with these eye looks, because I'm pretty sure it'll pull it off pretty quickly. And her lips in the movie do kind of clash with the color she has on her eyes, so that's another reason I kind of wanted to go with it. I am trying to stay true to the kind of colors that they used to create the character, but me personally, if I was going to wear this eye look out, I would normally pair it with a nude or more light baby pink color. But that's just me personally. And lastly, I'm just going to set my makeup with a setting spray. And there you have it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this Disney-inspired tutorial based on Madame Medusa's look. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment in the section down below. Join me on any of my other platforms, such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or send me a direct email to the email listed below at CanadianGlamMam@hotmail.com. Until next time, guys, remember to inspire and be inspired. Thanks for watching.